there's like you want it with every single being of your body, you do everything to make it happen.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that, Quinton?
Yeah, totally.
There's like an unwavering force inside of you when you really want something. Like if you're hungry, you'll freaking do everything to find the food, right?
Yeah.
But you need to know you're hungry in order to chase the food.
Welcome to Marketing with Vino, the edutainment business growth podcast, mixing education and entertainment to make growing your service business much more fun. Your hosts, Quinton Venter, online marketing expert, and Gabby Kowalski, creator of the Business Freedom Formula, have a glass of wine and share powerful and up-to-date strategies to help grow your service business fast.
Hey guys, welcome to another amazing episode, Marketing with Vino. Joining us is the most amazing Gabs. Welcome, Gabs.
Hello, Superman. Hello, awesome humans. I'm so excited to chat to you guys today. You've got like
Gabby
super cool stuff.
and I were talking just before, and as you can tell, she's super excited. Her energy is high, her vibration is high, and that is what we're going to be talking about in this episode. But let's cover the most important factors first. So what is it that you're sipping on?
Well, so this is funny. If you are watching this on YouTube, you're going to see this. So I haven't drank for a while, and I get to drink again now. I've gone through my little cleansing thing. And so I got on the podcast with Quinton. I'm like, oh, I'll get a wine. And so I poured myself a Pinot. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to drink Pinot. So I poured myself a Sauv Blanc. Sauv Blanc, yeah. I've actually got two. I've got two wines. Never done this in the history. This is the first time Marketing with Vino into mixing its drinks and having two. This is me catching up for all the podcasts. Right? You, hon, what are you drinking?
I've got a Pinot Gris from Taylor's, and just came back from Tassie and exploring the wine regions around there, and they have some of the most amazing Pinots. Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris, Pinot Noir, just amazing wines. And we were fortunate enough to go and experience it from a VIP treatment. So one of M's previous managers moved down there, and he's well connected with all of the different wineries. And he gave us he gave them the heads up that we were coming by. So they were giving us the VIP treatment of red carpet. Here's the show. Here's the tastings. Here's this. Absolutely amazing. So we can kick off this amazing episode with vibrations. And Gabby has amazing stuff to share. It's all recent developments that she just shared with me beforehand, and I can't wait to hear it all over again and for you guys to experience what I've experienced, which was goosebumps, because this is what happens when you get your message aligned, and all of a sudden you as a person, the who you are, starts becoming empowered, starts to experience what it is like to really have what it is that you're striving for, and to really get moving, to move forward, and make it getting shit done, like the way that I like to put it.
So with this one, there are three ways you can grow your business. Two of them suck and one of them's epic. So, and what I've found is if you're having a ball, if you're having an absolute ball growing your business right now, I guarantee you when you hear this out, you're going to go, yeah, I'm doing that third one. If you're finding that growing your business is a bit of a pain in the ass, it's a struggle, there's friction, there's problems, there seems to be headaches and hiccups, then you're doing one of the other two. So what are they? Drum roll. So ultimately, this is what I see. I see this. There's most business owners that are actually finding it a little bit challenging to get to where they want to get to, are either taking the model of, I'm going to do X so I can have X so I can be X, meaning I'm going to do content marketing so I can have lots of clients so I can be free and happy. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. Another model, that's the take action so I can have something so I can feel good model. The other model is once I have lots of money, then I'll do lots of marketing so I can be successful. Raise your hand if you've done that one. Yep. And here's the thing. These models don't work, and I'll tell you why they don't work. Because the true model in creating anything in the world is be, do, have. It's I'm going to be the identity. I'm going to be the person that I need to be. I'm going to take inspired action from that being, and I'm going to have whatever it is that I want. When we be the being of marketing, the being of marketing is I have a message. My brand has a mission, a message, a vision that is so aligned and exciting to me that I want to get my message out there, that I want to talk about this stuff, that I want to post stuff on social media. Yeah?
Yeah.
Then as a result, you have the following, you have the client inquiries. That's the trueness of it. Whereas so many business owners are going, what do I do? They're asking, what do I do? Wrong question.
Yeah.
Ask, who do I be?
Couldn't have said it any better. It is so true. The moment they start playing from the space of who do I need to be, or the goal that I'm setting, and who do I need to be in order to achieve that goal? Who will I be once I've achieved that? To play from that field now before having that, all of a sudden it changes the game. I couldn't have said it any better.
Oh, this is the sexy juice. Now, when you look at the being of stuff, there's also a couple of things to look at. So over the last month, my first class members and I have been just going deep on the B conversation, deep on quantum physics and manifestation and law of attraction and how all of this stuff works, and looking at, well, what is this B? Because you can tell me, Gabby, I need to be, do, have, but if I don't know who to be, what to be, it's not going to work. So I want to give you guys some gold today, not just tell you something and leave a big void and you guys are know much better for it. You're just aware of something, you don't have to apply it, use it. I want to give you the gold I've been giving to my first class members who are rocking it out and literally achieving business freedom in like a day. Like crazy shit's going on. It's been awesome. Now, here's the thing, that when we look at the being of the who we need to be, first up, you got to have a goal for business, yeah? And you want to be looking at, so say for example, your goal is to, I don't know, say for example, your goal is $500,000, yeah? So currently your business is doing $250,000 and the next goal is $500,000.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few things to get here. One of them is most people stuff up because either the goal they have is actually not congruent with who they are, meaning it's not in alignment with them. They're going after something that's actually not important to them. It's what they believe they're meant to be going after because everybody else is going after it.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, if you put in, $500,000 as your profit goal, however, it's actually not in alignment with you, like, for whatever reason, like you don't actually want the money or you don't need it, like you're happy on a $100,000 lifestyle, there's no juice around creating the money, you're going to find yourself not connecting and not being the person. So one of them is people choose goals that are actually not in alignment with themselves and go after them and wonder why they can't get them. So
Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Because
definitely.
That is a huge part.
Totally. So I'm going to give you a few examples. So for argument's sake, so I'm going to use time and money as the benchmarks, as the examples. So to me, if you're going after an income goal, you need to have a really good reason for why you want it, for you to grow into the person that has that income goal, yeah? Meaning, what is this income actually going to make possible for you in your life, and is it what you truly want? Because if you don't, you're not going to value it and you're not going to do the work to get it, ever.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it, right? So here's where, to become the identity of the goal, you need to first know, or to become the being of the goal, you need to know what that goal is, and you need to take on the feelings, the behavior, the who that you'd already be if you had that goal manifested. I was talking to a client yesterday, and we're looking at her next goal, where she's taking her business to next. So when I first started working with her, she was working pretty much every day in her business. And the first goal back then was she wanted to go work it down to 4 days a week. We created that. She's rocking out in that model. And so yesterday it was literally what's next? Where are we going to next? What do you want next? Now that you've lived here in this space, what would make your life even better? And she goes, well, you know what? I want to work 2 days a week. I'm like, okay, well, let's explore if this is true. Like, is this really in alignment with you? You know, is this goal truly in alignment with you? Would you be happy working 2 days a week and having 5 days off? Because here's the thing, there is no right and wrong, guys. If you're listening to any guru, anyone telling you this is the way to do it or this is the way to do it, I'm going to BS that, because we all have our own version of what happiness and success looks like. And it's not the same for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, yes, there's this, like, it's funny because we live in a world where there's like this generalization where you look at someone driving, you know, a fancy, expensive car or living in a big house and you go, they're successful. Well, okay, if that's what happiness and success means to you. So I say to her, okay, let's play this out, you know. Let's go into the future. Let's go into the virtual world, into the place where you already have this lifestyle. You're already working 2 days a week and have 5 days off. Tell me, on these 5 days off, you know, what do you do on an average day? Like, tell me what makes all of this worth it? You know, what would your days look like? And she tells me, well, I wake up in the morning and, you know, I wake up without an alarm clock. I just wake up when I wake up and I get to just be. I go and I either go exercise at the gym if it's raining, or I go on a beautiful walk. She lives right by the beach. It's stunning for where she lives to go for a walk. She's going to go for a lovely walk. I come back. I make myself a smoothie. I drink my smoothie. I let myself just tap into gratitude. I might do yoga. I might do some meditation. I have this beautiful flow morning where I can just be. I'm like, brilliant. You know, what do you do? What do you do in the afternoon? And she goes, well, you know, I'll do some marketing, or I'll maybe make some blogs, or I'll go into the salon and I'll do some training, or I'll go into the salon and, you know, I'll do a little bit of you know, a little bit of on the business activity. I might go have a meeting or create a joint venture. I'm like, interesting, right? I'm like, okay, tell me a little bit more. So what do you do in the evenings? We kind of explored this topic. I'm like, okay, well, what would you do on, and I played this out with her a few times. So what would these 5 days look like? And the same thing's repeating itself. She's got these free mornings, and in the afternoons, she's working on her projects. She's making video blogs. She's spreading her message out there with the world.
Yeah.
Now, guys, here's what's funny. In the afternoons, she's working. She didn't want 5 days off a week. All she really wanted was mornings off. To her, business freedom, her next goal wasn't, now that I'm working 4 days a week, let's drop another couple, which is so weird because we can buy into, like, if you don't have this conversation with yourself and really go, why do I want it? What would I do with my time? And work out what the truth is, you could be going after somebody else's goal. You know, what you believe society, like, that you're buying into what you think you're meant to say versus, and you won't achieve it because it's not in alignment. And you guys could be going after the very wrong goals, and that's why there's friction and you don't have the growth that you're after. So in the conversation, you know, with her, me just being clever and asking some clever questions, I'm like, well, what I'm hearing is business freedom to you actually means you've got all your mornings free and you work like about 4 afternoons, maybe sometimes 5 if you're inspired on a project a week. I'm hearing that you get fucking bored if you have a whole day of meditating and walking the dog and, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's like, you're right. I would get bored. Oh, she goes, I don't want 5 days off a week. That would suck. I'd go batty. She's like, wow, I never thought of it like that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stretch you now because the identity, the who has the freedom. And I went into, you know, when you tap into the who, the next who that you're creating, who is this person? And she says, how do they feel? I said, because what's the vibration? What's the feeling of the person you're becoming? And she says, this person feels free. This person feels connected. This person feels on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm like, beautiful, great vibrations, right? I'm like, okay, so we want to call that into our now reality for us to be able to attract and manifest the right actions that have us have what we're wanting to create. Like, okay, so tell me, right now, how could you add more feeling of freedom into your weeks? And she's like, well, to have the mornings to myself. But if you were to have all your mornings to yourself, or almost all your mornings to yourself in the week, what impact would that have on your state, on your energy levels, on your inspiration? She's like, oh my God, as I tap into this, I can see myself being even more inspired to make my video blogs because I'll have the energy. My bucket will be full and I'll want to make the video blogs and I want to do this. And she's like going, wow, this is friggin' phenomenal. This is what I want. And we're sitting there. I'm like, okay, well, what if you were to start by let's go into business. What would happen if we started to just take mornings off? So we took one day, let's just go, okay, well, let's take Thursdays off. How does that feel? She's like, she goes, a little bit, she goes, that feels good. She goes, oh my God, that feels, I can actually go to work at 11 or I could totally go to work at 11 or 12. And it was like this has always been there, guys. Her ability to tap into going to work a little bit later has all the possibilities been there.
Yeah.
She just never saw it because she wasn't asking the right questions. She wasn't aligning with her truth. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, well, now we're going to go into the identity work, the true being work of creating everything that you want in business. And I need you to get something, guys, that when we tap into the who we need to be in order to have the time and money that we desire from business, there's going to be certain things that you're actually going to do right now that are going to feel a bit uncomfortable. So for her, when she went, okay, you know what, screw it. She goes, I'm going to take every morning off. I want you to take some big action right now that supports this identity. And she's like, I'm doing it. I'm taking every morning off. I'm like, whoa, good on you. High five. Here's me going, well, let's start with one day. She's like, I'm taking it all off. She goes, I do have bookings from now till the end of the year. So I'm going to literally, when she got off the phone with me, she went into the computer, blocked out every single morning that was not filled from now to the end of the year, and then went in and blocked out every morning in 2017 that you can't book a time to.
Kudos to her. That is freaking brilliant. Yeah.
Here's the thing though. She was inspired to do that from the beginning. When she'd spent the time in the freedom and what it felt like to be connected to self, to her truth, to freedom, to being on purpose, the action was inspired. It wasn't that she went and looked for, how can I, the answer came from within her.
Yeah.
To me, inspired action is the best action we can take in business. When we tap into the who that we're working towards and we say, okay, if $500,000 was already done, what would that version of me be doing today to get me there faster? When we ask ourselves clever questions like that, we actually get the aligned action to take versus the I should be doing this project because some guru on the internet told me that I should be doing this project. Bullshit, it worked for him. It may not work for you.
Yeah.
This is when people do a whole bunch of different stuff out there. Some of it works and some of it doesn't. Because, guys, some of it's not in alignment with you. Yes, it's going to work for somebody else, but unless it's in alignment with you, it's not going to work for you because it's friction. You'll do have a being as opposed to be do having. And so why I love this is when you really tap into the being, one of them is this congruent? Test it. Like, if I had this, how would I feel? What would I be doing? How would my day work? Is it the truth? Yeah?
Yeah.
2, when we look at money, it's a why do you want the money? Like, why do you really want the money? So I laugh because when I do an interview process with my clients, one of the first things I ask them is, what do you want and why do you want it? And they'll be like, oh, I want to 10x my business. I want to work 2 days a week and have millions of dollars. And I test it. I'm like, because I've heard it so many times, and it's usually these people have no idea what it feels like to live that life. It's fucking boring for most people. Honestly,
it's so true. And what I got from that story with your client, it was that business freedom is different for everyone. And I mean, that's obvious. But real, true business freedom doesn't mean that you just stop working altogether and someone else runs it and you can sit there on a beach. Because at the end of the day,
unless that is your thing.
Yeah.
There are people out there that's actually their truth.
Yeah, totally.
They honestly, they just want to surf and they just want to, it's their truth. And guys, if that's your truth, go after that.
Yeah.
But if it's not your truth, I find most overachievers, Quinton, we're addicted to the dopamine rush of making shit happen.
Exactly. And that's what I was coming to, that even though that may be the ideal lifestyle of just bumming around on the beach and just hanging out and drinking cocktails all day, there comes a point where the reason why we're in this game is to create and to challenge the status quo, to do something different in the world, that our natural urges in that sense, for me at least, would be like, I want to do stuff. I at least want to have some form of communication going on to see for growth-wise, or what else can be done, or how can we expand. So for me, on that sense, it would totally be that I'll still want to be involved with it and not have a full day off. And what I also got from that story was there is no set strategy for business freedom. That for everyone it is different. It wasn't that you pluck this out and put it into a formula and say, all right, guys, so for the first month, I want you to block out your mornings. And I want you to block out 1 day. And we're going to work our way up to block out 5 days every morning. And that's our goal. That's going to give you business freedom. And that is just so false, because that worked for her and that was applicable for her. And when I relate back to it, that for me, personal business freedom has changed over the years. It has changed from how do I want to live my days? What do I want to achieve in those days? And what do I want to do? And one of those things is that...
Bless you.
Thank you. I want to have my afternoons free. So for me, it's all about getting up early in the morning, going to the gym, get shit done, and then from 6:30 till 11, I work on clients' projects. I get it all done so that by midday, I'm basically free to do whatever it is that I want to go and do. And I can go have coffee, I can go have meetings, I can have calls, something that is very chilled, no hands-on work. And then in the evening when Em gets home, I'm able to spend time with her. To me, that is business freedom, which is the complete opposite as to what your client wanted. Yep. And that's just the thing, that around the strategy of what it is that you want to achieve around freedom and time and money, really think about it. What does that mean to you? And if that is the goal that you're striving for, what is the day going to look like? Who is that person that's going to be living that lifestyle? Like, what is it that they go through on a day-to-day basis? What are they doing? What do they keep themselves busy with? What are their thoughts? What conversations are they having? Where are they hanging out? With who? And based on that, you now know who to be. Once you know who to be, simply just go and be it.
And this is the thing. So this is where, once you know what it is, like once you, to me, if you can't articulate and language your goal and sort of like look at the blueprint of what that actually, like what are the tangible benchmarks, what are the tangible checkpoints that tell me I've reached my goal, you're screwed. Yeah. So most people have this, I want to work 2 days a week thing. Okay. It's not, or I want to make 7 figures. Let's go deeper. Let's have a much deeper conversation than just that. And let's find out, one, is this your truth? Do you really want that? What does it look like when it's on your terms? And so this is the gateway. I'm going to give it to you guys. It's a, what do you want? What do you think you want? Because to me, the first step is whatever you think you want it because of the emotions you're going to get, or you think you're going to get from having it. Now, the truth of the matter is, we actually have no friggin' idea if that's the truth, because usually we go after something we've never had before. And until you have it, you don't even know how you're going to feel. So in your imagination, it's true. Well, it's true. Like I remember, my last car. I was like, I want a sports car. I want a manual so I can go boom, boom, boom. It's going to be fun, right? Hadn't driven a manual since I was, for like over a decade. I killed its clutch in, I think, about 6 weeks. That's an achievement. And I remember I was like, I'm driving this friggin' beast of a thing. I'm stalling. I've got like people tooting at me in traffic. And
it's not the emotion you thought you're going to have, is it?
I did not feel like a rock star. But I also remember, mum and dad wanting, I'm sharing this with you because the truth of the matter is we don't actually know if we're going to feel as epic having the goals that we have. I think we've got to be open to this is where people think they fail, and I don't think they do. I don't think we can possibly ever fail when we understand that we're growth-based creatures, that we play around in the playground of life, and like we only learn about ourselves by experiencing things. That, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I remember Mum and Dad had a dream where they wanted to live in the mountains and have this beautiful home with this round, circular driveway, and they had a vision. There was these gorgeous pine trees in the front. They saw beautiful, an acre and a half of landscaped gardens, just picturesque views from the terraces, all throughout the mountains. Sounds amazing, right?
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Just picture it. You live in a home where you've got gorgeous, perfect gardens and gorgeous views everywhere, yeah?
Yeah.
And there's gorgeous big trees. Here's the reality. To maintain the standard that they liked, Dad was working his role was 5 days on, 7 days off. Dad would work pretty much he was working full time. He'd be at work for 5 days, he'd be in the garden, blowing all the paths,
Yes.
spraying all the weeds. It would take him all freaking day to mow the goddamn lawns.
Yeah.
Then a big ass tree would fall, you'd have to chop it up into firewood. The reality of living in this environment was very different to, when I'm there, it's going to feel like I'm on holidays. I'm going to, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to come home from work and go, But how could they possibly know that, right?
Exactly, yeah. It's all just a fantasy until then.
Everything in life is, so the truth of the matter is in business, we will go after certain goals, and often when we get there, we're like, I don't want a manual car anymore,
Yeah.
I don't think I feel like a speed racer in this thing.
and that almost sounds like you've been sold a fake dream, because once upon a time, you may have heard somewhere or someone may have told you that having a manual could be fun and it could be cool and it could be awesome having a sports car, and you will be a rock star because everyone will look at you. And that points back to the beginning where you said that success is whatever it is that you make it, that this could be from someone else's success of having that beautiful car, beautiful home. To them, that is it. Like their emotions match it.
Love this, because this bridges to stage number 2 in be, do, having. So first it's get the being of, make sure that the what you're going after is in alignment with you. To when you know that what you want is first we went, okay, to my client, I'm like, babe, I didn't say babe, I called her by her name. I'm just going to leave her name out of it, just in case, because she didn't tell me I could, tell this story.
Yeah.
So I was going to keep it anonymous. Not that she'd care. So I said, awesome lady. I'll just call her Sarah. I said, okay, what do you want? She's like, this is what I want. This is the money. This is the time. Okay, why do you want it? I want you to go into the place where you already have it. Tell me, how do you feel? And she says, I feel free. I feel connected. I feel on purpose. Yeah, so the goal is actually not the money and the time. The goal is to feel free, connected, and on purpose.
Yeah.
Please get that, guys. So one, we want to tap into that. 2, when we look at, okay, if you truly, believe that your tangible goal is to have this time, we need to get you experiencing it now. So for some of you, it's, if you believe that you want to be working 2 days a week, my challenge is be the being who has it. Block out 3 weeks where you do that.
Yeah.
Experience what it feels like.
And see if you really like it.
And so there's 2 things that are going to happen. Either you're going to go, I don't like this, and tweak the goal because you're coming from experience. You're living on the house on the mountain now, or you're driving the friggin' manual car, as opposed to just think do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So one, it's call that in. Live that way. Experience what it feels like. And in the experience of it, you're either going to find it's not for you and you'll readjust and have an educated, intelligent, conscious creation of the truth, or you're going to love it. And guess what? As soon as you experience something and love it, we actually, our internal blueprint changes. Our minimum standard raises.
Yeah.
We can't go back. Human beings can't go back. It feels painful to go backwards in life.
Yeah.
So if you take this time off and you're like, oh, I love it. Oh, this is blissful. Then now all of a sudden, your own internal value system, what your minimum standard is, has changed, and you will do everything to maintain minimum. Human beings honestly experience what they'll tolerate, what they value, and what their minimum is. If someone tells me, I want $1 million and they're making 50 grand a year, I'm going to tell them, you tolerate 50 grand a year. And they're like, what do you mean? No, I don't. I want more money. Bullshit. If you wanted more money, if your minimum, honestly, guys, have you noticed that when you go below your minimum financially, what happens to your feeling?
Yeah, you start feeling very anxious.
It doesn't feel good, does it?
No.
It's like, oh, no, you have to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah? And that tells me with people, to actually become the person, to manifest, to create, you need to become the being. So that means we've got to raise our freaking standards. How do we raise our standards? By experience. Human beings don't learn through theory. They learn through experience. I remember as a kid, my dad would tell me, Gabby, don't do that. If you do that, you're going to X. Like, no, not for me. That won't happen to me. Bang, it happened. Gabby, don't go out with that boy. He's trouble. If you go out with that boy, this will happen. No, not to me. Bang, it happened. I'm kidding. But it's true, because human beings learn more through experience than they learn through theory. So this is where understand our psychology, call that in. So next, money. So if you tell me I want X amount of money, and I say, why do you want it? And you say, because I want to be able to buy beautiful clothes, and I want to be able to go on awesome holidays, and I want to be able to eat at amazing restaurants, and I want to be able to buy myself a brand new car, and I want to live here. You're going to tell me all this stuff, right?
Yeah, or even give to charity. I'll then start doing some good things in the world.
Yep. And it's like, so there's a couple of great points. You'll tell me, I'm going to give to charity, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Whatever your answers are, guys, around the next income goal you're going for, the why you want it, what you'd really do with it, you want to start doing that now. And sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable, because you're going to be standing there, Quinton, looking at a skirt that's, $800.
Totally. Only if it's in the color of blue. Blue is my color.
You're going to be looking, Quinton's going to be looking at his blue skirt. So here's where it gets uncomfortable, right? Because you're going to go, okay, well, that version of myself, the reason I'm going there is so I can have the freedom to buy whatever I want. It doesn't matter if the skirt's $50 or $800. If I really want it, I get it for myself. Or it could be, the reason I want this money is so, if I had it, I'd fly business class. Yeah?
Yeah.
Or if I had this money, I would invest in my business. I hear this a lot. If I had this money, then I'd reinvest in my business. I love hearing that, because then when I've had this conversation with my clients, because they don't even know what I'm doing when I'm asking them, okay, what would you do with it? What would you do with it? Here's Gabby jotting down, I do this, I do that, I do that. And at the end of the conversation, I say, start doing this shit. And the more uncomfortable you feel in doing it, the better. Because when you're going, oh, fuck, I've got to buy business class tickets. 4 times more expensive than the economy shitty tickets.
What if that was the case, right? What if that was the case, that you couldn't go back based on the standard, the new standard that you've set? What if that was the case, that if it was your thing to fly business class, that from now on, for every ticket, that option is simply no longer there? That means you have to either work your ass off, start saving more, or whatever it may be. But that is the new standard that you're going for. I'm
telling you, this is what's like. I love that you just said that, Quinton. I love it, because for some of you, it would be more work if that's your calling, right? Do you know what this is so fucking sexy.
There you go.
That when you raise your standard, guys, I don't mean the more money I make, the more work I do. I really don't, because I want you to be in alignment with who you truly are. So for me, I don't want to do more work for more money at all. I'm not interested in it. I know that the version of myself that has more money is actually making a bigger impact on the planet. And even though I might do more activity with content marketing, it's not going to feel like work at all. It's going to feel like bliss.
Yeah.
So it's about tapping into what version of me blisses out on the extra. If there's extra activity, where's the bliss point? But here's the thing. If you raise your standard to right now, business class is your minimum, like for example, for me, I can't fly Tiger Airlines. Like even to Sydney, I can't do it. I just can't friggin' do it. You can't make me, and that's all there is to it, right? I will not do it. You got to walk for ages, and And it feels like I'm a chicken being put in, I don't know, I just feel like a cattle. I feel like cattle with that experience. I haven't done it for a long time. Now, that was because a while ago my standard got, but there was a time I did experience that to be able to, as soon as I went and flied Qantas to Sydney and I had my own TV and they're handing me bottles of wine and I walked out drunk, but anyway, the different story. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is what happens, that whenever we raise our standards, we actually transform and we become a different person. And it's not because sometimes people go to me, well, if I start doing this stuff, I'm going to, it's going to put me into stress. I'm going to go into debt. I'm going to insert whatever here, right? Please understand that when you start doing the stuff that's true to you, it's not going to stress you out. It's actually going to have you feel even more aligned, even more centered, even more happy. If your truth, now get this because it may not be your truth. My truth for my next income goal is I want even more luxury. I'm getting myself a boat. I'm calling it the White Butterfly. It's a double decker. It's awesome. Getting myself a matching hat. It's going to have White Butterfly captain with glitter on it, custom made. I'm going to get myself a jet ski called the White Cricket that looks like the boat. It's going to, and but it's beautiful and awesome. It. Why? Because I love experience. I love having fun with my friends. I love living. I love the water. I love nature. Now, why am I sharing that with you? Because to be honest with you, when you allow yourself to go into that place, for me to become the person that gets all of this stuff, I need to get comfortable with spending more money. I need to make spending, 200 grand bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if my truth is being that person means I fly business class everywhere, I need to get comfortable with spending a few grand on tickets. That needs to be my norm. Yeah. So as opposed to if your comfort zone is, well, looking for the cheapest flights, and going, I can get flights return to X wherever I'm going for 800 and this is going to cost me this much, that's not you being congruent. When you do what's really congruent with you, you don't feel funny. You feel amazing.
Exactly,
It's only when you're taking action that's not in alignment with you. It's only when you're buying a house, not for you, but to impress your friends, that you could potentially spend the money and then not feel epic and stretched and grown and vibrating at a frequency that's awesome. So if you guys take action and it's not going to give you that awesome, oh my God, wow feeling, that wasn't in alignment with myself. I did that for the wrong reasons. And does that make sense, Quinton?
Yeah.
So to me, but it has to be your truth, because if your truth isn't you're going to fly business class, don't freaking do it.
Exactly,
it's not important to everybody. I love luxury. The reason I'm going after my next goal is because I love and value luxury. That's the truth. Yes, of course, I give to charity. Yes, of course, there's honourable things. There's beautiful things I do with money. Like I'm buying mum and dad a beautiful big air conditioning system for their home for summer because it's hot. Yeah. I do lovely things. And, I could tell you the reason why I have the money is so I can give more to my family and give more to charity. Bullshit. The reason I attract money is so I can have luxury. That's the honest to goodness truth. And yes, I get to do other stuff around that, but please be truthful with yourself. Don't BS yourself, because once you know what your truth is, everything flows. And then you can answer the questions. Okay, well, then what would I be doing? What would this version of me be doing right now? And then you go, okay, well, this version of me would invest into Facebook advertising. This version of me would be doing content marketing. This version of me would be getting out there and spreading my word even more and doing a podcast or whatever, right? And then go out and do that. Will you have a bit of tight butt at the beginning? Yes, because you're stretching your comfort zone. But guess what happens? As soon as you step over and do your first video, do your first podcast, your standards have raised. Your who has changed. You're now stepping closer.
Can't go back.
You can't ever go back. You can't. And to me, that's the key. It's be that person. And for some of you, around money, I find money is an interesting one, because people go, I want this amount of money. And they find it difficult to be the being of that money, Quinton, because they're like, well, I don't have money to spend on blah. I've got mentors, like one of my new mentors right now, when she shares her story around money with me, for her building her empire along the journey of it and utilizing this particular strategy of being the identity,
Yeah.
She would literally get a credit card to buy a business class ticket so she could have the experience of it, so she could shift her minimum. Now, here's the irony. Most people would never do that because it's like, oh, what a risk.
Yeah.
And please don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just letting you know that the being of is what gets you there. If it's your truth. If it's your truth. Not if it's not. So just because I fly business class, she flew business class, back then for her, she even borrowed to do it.
Yeah.
Please don't misinterpret that as you now need to do that, listeners. Please. It's only what your truth is. Whatever your truth is, follow your truth, not somebody else's. Don't copy people's stuff. Yes, I've actually got a bit of an aversion to the term modeling in NLP. You know how neuro-linguistic programming will tell you find the person who has the results that you want and model them. Do what they do, wear what they wear, fart when they fart,
And do it exactly the same time as they do it as well.
Yeah, be that person. It works provided the model that you choose is actually an aligning match to you.
Yeah.
If the model that you choose is not in alignment with your truth, you're going to find pain at the other end of the road. Does that make sense? Like,
totally.
It'll be painful. So guys, freaking do have. And Quinten, you were sharing, I'd love you to share some stuff around this because you were saying before we got on the podcast that this is what you love. You love the being of. Even though you're the strategy king, you're awesome at getting shit done, you get projects finished, you actually are more interested in the being of getting shit done than you are in the what to do to get shit done. Can you share a bit?
Yeah, totally. Apologies. So it wasn't until we started the new agency called Cloud9, and it's Cloud9 with a K. And what came from it was when I decided to go into partnership with David, we actually started to look at looking at our strengths and our weaknesses, having a lot of self-awareness around us. And what I've discovered was that the whole thing around business strategy, it is just not my thing. I mean, to think about how to reach those goals, it takes a lot of brain power for me, and it actually exhausts me, versus when I can actually know where to go and I can implement it, I can get it done. So when I started recognizing that, and David and I decided to go in partnership, we were able to play in our geniuses, in our field, where he completely looks after that area. I mean, that's where his genius lies. And the fact is, he doesn't like to do stuff. He doesn't like to implement, and he's not that great at implementing. That's his own words. Versus, I freaking love that. I love getting shit done. I love to have the accountability, to keep people accountable for what needs to be done, and to set the timelines in place. Now, that's just me. That's the part that I love. But what I love even more, even beyond that, is what I'm actually working towards long term. It is around the self-leadership of becoming inspired and empowered to get shit done, to get your ass into gear, to actually get moving. What does it take? And for me, it happened when you actually align with your why, when you've got that in front of you and you're congruent with it. Then all of a sudden, that motivation, that empowerment, that determination, everything just seems to fall into place, and it happens. You no longer need an external motivators. Like, come on, you can do it. You can, like a personal trainer, like, come on, 10 more, give me 10 more. You don't need that because it's coming from internal. So my bigger thing is to start spreading that message on a much broader scale to help people become inspired and empowered to chase after the lifestyle that they want, to chase their dreams, to make it happen, to get shit done. And if that means to start connecting the dots with other people, or to partner up, that may be it. But for me, that's the pinnacle. And when I play in that zone, when I always stay true to why do I do what I do, and it is to inspire and empower people, I apply that on everything that I do. And that just makes it so easy for me to simply just go and get shit done. I mean, that's what I thrive for.
I love that. And so I love that because ultimately, guys, this is where in business you want to go and get that true success, true freaking happiness and success from business is aligning with who you truly are and being in your genius. It's having a purpose, a message. It's having that your brand is actually an extension of your own soul purpose. So it feels so good to be a part of it. And knowing what you love within that, and the more success, like to me, a truly successful person is someone who's happy. Someone who's friggin' happy right now. Not someone who's waiting for something to happen to be happy. Someone who's happy now and has friggin' kick-ass goals, because why the crap not? Like, it's fun, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And so, Quinton he's the do guy. He's the guy that like gets shit done. Like Quinton, Quinton's agency is they're my marketing crew. They're my team. They take care of a whole bunch of stuff for me. And ultimately, Quinton rides my ass. He's like, Gabs, have you done this yet?
Following up, like, how are you going? When is this done?
He does. He's great. Don't get me wrong. He's not a ball buster, but the point is, like, for him, because I love that. I love having someone on my team that does that keeps me accountable, that, like, it's important to get that you're going to need certain energies around you inside of your business, where their genius is detail, or their genius is big picture, or their genius is insert whatever here. The more you know yourself, the more you know what you love, the more you really connect to and ask the questions of, what is success to me? What's my genius? What would I be doing on my ideal average day that would have me feel bliss? The more you grow into that, that's when you acquire true freedom, true success, true happiness. Here's what's funny though, guys, sometimes it takes time to get those answers.
It does.
Sometimes you're going to go on a bit of a tangent for a year or two and immerse yourself doing stuff, and then by having that adventure, you'll go, oh, I actually don't like that.
No.
Never think you failed. Please get that. I see people go, oh, that didn't work out. They followed the path somewhere, and at the end of it, they're like, I don't like this. I'm just going to reflect. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to change it. Please get that kind of shit happens in business growth. It's you. Business growth is the best personal development journey you'll ever go on. It's you, playing around on the playground, working out what you love and what gives you bliss. Quinton loves getting shit done. I friggin' love having breakthrough conversations and having someone become the beam. I love mindset. I love vibrational work. But my mission, so hear it though, Quinton's mission is to have other people get their message out there.
Yeah.
It's massive. Quinton's mission is to literally be the biggest support in helping others, because he believes that when he helps other people get their message out there, it's like, my God, the leverage in that, all these people making the world a better place, he believes is so much better than him just trying to get, if he's the only one making the world a better place, it's just him. He's like, I'm going to take an army with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to elevate this army and get them to make this world an even more rocking place. My mission is to raise the vibration of this planet, to have this planet step up in its frequency, step its minimum up, step its standards up.
Raise the bar,
raise this planet, so every single person's minimum is awesome. So, and in doing so, I believe that raises the minimum standard of the whole universe, because we're connected. Like, that's my mission.
Yeah.
So for me, my whole thing is mindset. It's getting people to become the next level of themselves. So does that make sense? Where, guys, when you tap into, and what I've found over the years, and so has Quinton, is we knew what our missions were, but our missions get even more advanced, even more rich, even like, just
it
recently,
evolves, it grows. It has to. We grow.
We develop a language around our missions that we didn't have at the beginning, because we're playing in the quantum superfield. I was just sharing with Quinton that, like, recently I'm like, oh man, I really freaking love working on the vibration stuff of business. Like, to me, it's the majority of the game. If you're not the right who, strategies don't work. If in marketing, you're not coming from a place of having your marketing actually give value to the market, if you're not coming from a place of, I'm marketing to get my message out there, to let people know about what we do and how we can help them, if you're marketing from a place of, I want more clients, that's the wrong beam. And strategies don't work. They freaking don't. I've seen that happen time and time again. Because the vibration is scarcity, desperation. I need money,
Yeah.
Versus connecting, give-based approach. So for me, it's key. Like the who is so important. Yes, there's a who, what, how, but if without the who, I believe we're effed. That's right, I swore. And I think this is cool, guys, because in this we're giving you permission to grow into the who and also take some uncomfortable steps.
Experience it. Go and experience
Yeah.
the who you would be for the goal that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, like if you're telling me you want to live by the beach, go and freaking move closer to the beach.
Go and Airbnb it for a few weeks. Like, go and experience it. I mean, if you want to drive that Ferrari, go and rent the Ferrari. Go and experience it. It's at a much cheaper place, but you'll actually experience what it's like, especially here in Sydney, to go and drive a Ferrari with more than 400 brake horsepower in mid-traffic. Go and see how much fun that is versus actually being able to experience the car for what it is. And that is how you're going to know whether or not this is actually something that you truly want. If you want to live in that big mansion, go and experience it. Go Airbnb it. Go and live there for a little while and make some sacrifices to make that happen, but to actually get the experience that's going to raise that bar and the vibration. If you don't like it, then don't do it.
You know that's not your thing. Like, you know, you're not going to drive around in a manual sports car for a while, killing your clutch and pissing everyone off around you.
Exactly.
You'll do it smarter. And upon that note, it's a be the being, guys. Be the being. Let yourself experience. Let yourself really feel it. And this is why. So the final why to why it's important to actually take the action of the person who you want to become. Have you ever noticed that when you really, truly, like really, really want something because you know you want it and there's like you want it with every single being of your body, you do everything to make it happen?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that, Clinton?
Yeah, totally.
There's like an unwavering force inside of you when you really want something. Like if you're hungry, you'll freaking do everything to find the food, right? Yeah. But you need to know you're hungry in order to chase the food.
Yeah.
So when you go drive the Ferrari, when you go take the month off work and have the time freedom, when you go stay by the beach in a place, Airbnb, you're then going to literally tap into a force that's greater than you and me alone. It's like you've got an army. The whole universe conspires for you because your hunger grows. You go into an I can attitude versus an I can't attitude. It's an I must. Everything shifts and changes. Yeah. I know that at any given time, if I don't make a sale, it's because the person doesn't really, really want my thing. If they really, really wanted my thing, they'll move mountains to get it.
Exactly, yeah. It shouldn't be that much of a hard sale then. It is like, this is it. It is as good as I make it out to be. And if you really want it, you got to do it.
But ultimately, like, you know, in selling, it's tapping into why the person wants that thing and making sure that, you know, your product and service is in alignment with what they truly want and the results and the feelings and all of that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. To me, this is you selling yourself on your dream and goal. This is you literally closing yourself where you're at a point where I have to buy this. I have to have this life. I have to have this goal. You know, when I went and bought my last car, it was very clever. I get there, I'm like, hey, do you have this car? Yes, we've got one. I'm like, oh, I've been looking at it for like the last month or two. Like, can I take it for a spin? Yeah, take it for the day, they say. And I know exactly what they're doing. Take it for the day. Look, you know what? Take it for the day. Come back, you know, whenever you want to. All good. Have some fun. Because they know that if I spend...
That's a brilliant tactic.
There was actually a while ago, I don't know if this is... There was a company that really brilliant in the car industry when cars were kind of having a bit of a rough time. What they did was they sent out, or they literally invited their like best clients who buy cars or cars off them to take this offer. This is how it worked. They got to take a car for 1 week. So you're looking to get a car. You can take the car that you're looking at and take it home for 1 week. Plus, here's $150. Take your wife out to dinner, go do something really cool and live it up a little bit. And then at the end of the week, if you want the car, we'll organise the finance, the whatever. It's yours, or you can just hand it back, return the keys, and none the wiser.
No questions asked. That is awesome.
fucking epic. Quinton, you honestly, like, you think now, this is kind of like most businesses would go, oh, you know, look at all the problems that could present. Bullshit. If you qualify the client well enough and you know they truly want it, that everything's right, in them having it, now their minimum's raised. They have to have it at the end of that week. And honestly,
they can't
for the
live
most,
life without it. It's like their new way of living.
Yep, or they found out they didn't want it.
Yeah.
I think the percentage was roughly 10% returned it, 90% kept it.
That is
so
amazing.
even on the small amount of money this company lost, they got back so much more.
That on its own is a whole nother podcast that I would love to dive in for, where understanding that it's not about the front end sale, that where are you really making your money? What other business models can you apply to your current business that can amplify the profit that you're making on the back end? Because knowing that the front end is usually just to get them through the door. And even if you lose money on the front end like this, that 10% return and 90% buy the car, what would have the odds have been if someone just literally came in for a little consultation and sat and talked to a salesperson the whole time? How many of them would then purchase it and be satisfied or be unsatisfied with it, or versus just walking out of the door? I mean, it's really understanding this side of things that we get to understand how can we actually scale our business to the next level, having more cash flow coming in. There you are.
Yeah, love it. Okay, done.
Lost you there.
Next podcast, we're gonna write it in. I'll write. I still got you. I will put that on the scrum board, and I'll make sure we talk about that next time. Quinton, It's been friggin' rocking talking to you as always, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, go to marketingwithvino.com. There's going to be a little button that says join the club, and all you do is press that button, and guess what? You get to ask to be invited to a private Facebook group where Quinton and I hang out, where you can ask us questions, where you can, talk back, let us know what your thoughts are. Get in the conversation back with us. Completely gift, free resource for you. There's some cool stuff in there. So if you haven't already, jump on, and we'd love to meet you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your wisdom, Gabs, and your time. Have a wonderful afternoon.
I will. I'm on my way to Grampians. Just really quickly, guys. So Melbourne's been beautiful recently, and just today it's like raining and dark. I'm driving out to beautiful mountainside where it tells me it's sunny and 20 degrees. I'm going abseiling for the first time. I'm pretty excited.
Yes.
So I'm like, you know what? Don't tell me I'm going to sit here in the rain. I've got options. So lots of love and take care, everyone. Bye.
Au revoir. Bye.
You've been listening to Marketing with Vino. If you enjoyed this episode and want to access the resources discussed in this episode, go to marketingwithvino.com and select which episode you've listened to.